Hello creeps, Brains here, and today it's time for Paranormal Storytime, but it's going to be a little different. Because this is actually a story that my aunt experienced when she was 18 or 19. She's now almost 50. Sorry, Aunt Vicky, I think she's 48 or 49. And she's... Sorry, I have a huge tangle in my hair. She's a very loud, outspoken, very opinionated woman. I've talked about her in some of my older videos, so if you've been here for a while, you've probably heard me mention her name. So, whenever she was 18, 19, she worked at a truck stop. And she worked the late shift, so she got off early in the morning, like 3 or 4, I think, in the morning. And one day she was working, like normal, and this really strange old black car pulled up. And it wasn't old as in it was a beater or anything, it was just a very old car. She said it kind of looked like a hearse, but she knew it wasn't a hearse, it was just like a very long, kind of odd-shaped car. And she can obviously see the parking lot, and this strange-looking man gets out. And he's got black hair, black facial hair, a long black trench coat, and he's in all black. Which, for the area we live in, and at this time, she said that wasn't a real common thing to see. He kind of looked out of place. And he walked in, and he kind of walked around the store, he kind of chit-chatted with her at first, like, how's your night going, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden he looks at her and he's like, you should come to my house. And I don't cuss a lot on my channel, but I'm going to just because this is literally how my aunt told me the story. I have a mouth like a sailor, I just try to keep it, you know, friendly for everyone in all ages. So Vicky looks at him and is like, why the fuck would I want to come to your house? What, you got a fucking cool house? That's literally how she said it, like head bob and everything when she told me. And he reaches into his coat pocket and he pulls out a little photo album. And she's flipping through the pictures and she said it was pictures of this, supposedly this guy's house. And it looks like an old gothic mansion, and she said the walls almost looked like castle walls. It was just really weird, really strange. And as she was flipping through the pictures, she came to a picture of a room, and there wasn't really anything in this room except for a giant statue of Baphomet. So she got really freaked out, and she just told the guy, you know, do you need gas or anything? I don't want to come to your house, I'm sorry. And kind of dismissed him, and he said, okay, I'll be back. Well, guess what? The next night, basically the same events repeated themselves. He pulled up in his weird old car, he came in, went and talked to my Aunt Vicky and said, you should come to my house. And she was like, dude, you're really starting to freak me out. I don't know if you're hitting on me or what, but I'm not interested. I have a boyfriend. I don't know. I don't think she really did, but that's what she told him. So after the second time, she went and told her manager, who was like 25 at the time. He was a little bit older than her, so he thought she was overreacting when she was telling him that this really strange dude was coming in and telling her she needed to come to his house, and he had weird statues and shit in his house. So on the third time, the third night, he does the same thing. He pulls up in his weird car, he gets out, comes in, and this time, my aunt's manager steps in and is like, dude, you can't just like come in here harassing her. She's already told you she's not interested. And the guy just calmly is like, I'm real sorry, whatever, and leaves. Well, as he's going out to his car, his window's down. And when he walks up to the car, I'm gonna stop. This is gonna sound really cliche and corny, but my aunt is not the type of person to lie or make stuff up. And I guess it could have been a trick of the eye or light. But these two solid black Dobermans come to the door, or to the window of the car, I mean, and are looking out. And Vicky said she swears it felt like they were just, their eyes were burning through her and their eyes were glowing red. I know, that sounds outlandish. This is just what my aunt told me, and I believe her, and I hope you believe me too. So, he never came back to the store, and about a week later, my aunt went to check her mail, and at the time she rented a little, single-wide trailer in the St. Louis area, and, she went out to her mailbox, and there was, a manila envelope, and it just had her name written on it, Vicky. It didn't have a return label, didn't have stamps, which means that someone just went to her house and stuck this envelope in her mailbox, which first off is already creepy and stalkerish anyway. So she goes in, opens the envelope, and there's a tape that says "Play Me," like a cassette tape. So she puts it in her tape deck or whatever, and plays it, and it's this weird satanic chanting. And all of a sudden her mom calls, and her mom is like a very religious, like, Christian woman, like God-fearing Christian woman. And when Vicky answers, her mom obviously hears this weird chanting in the background, and she's like, "Vicky, what is that in the background?" And she tells her, "I got this weird tape, this weird guy showed up, he had these weird statues in his house." And she's like, "Oh my god, Vicky, like, get rid of that tape now, like, turn it off." So Vicky was like, "Why, Mom?" And she's like, "Don't worry about why, just get rid of that tape, like, immediately." So Vicky hangs up the phone, and she pulls, like, the film stuff out of the tape, like, completely pulls it completely out to where there was no way it could be fixed, and she throws it in the trash. Well, the next day she goes to work, and one of her friends is going to come over to her house while she's at work. I don't know if she was cleaning or if they were just going to go out or hang out, whatever, it doesn't matter. So when she gets home and walks in, that weird chanting is playing. So my aunt, like, freaks out and is like, "Where did you get this tape?" And her friend's, like, all taken back, like, "What are you talking about?" And Vicky was like, "Did you get this tape out of the trash and, like, rewind all the film and fix it?" Her friend's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. It was sitting on the coffee table when I came in." So Vicky tells her the whole story about the weird guy, the tape showing up, her destroying the tape, and now her friend said whenever she walked into Vicky's house or trailer or whatever, it was sitting on the table, like, untouched. So they were obviously freaked out, and they decided, you know what, it's dark, we're already freaked out, we're just gonna, like, dispose of it tomorrow. So they get up the next morning, and the tape is gone. Like, it is nowhere to be found, just freaking gone. I have cold chills, but I'm sure you can't see them. And the real kicker is, a week after this weird tape incident, a semi-truck, like a diesel, whatever, like, went off the road and hit her trailer. And it hit her trailer on, like, this end, and her bedroom was on this end. So if she would have been on this side of the house at that time, it would have killed her. And the only reason she wouldn't have really been on that side of the house, because I think the living room was on this side, is because the hours she worked, she was sleeping during the day in her bedroom. So, I don't know if that's satanic, if that guy was a Satanist, or if he was the devil or a demon, I'm not sure. It was a really creepy story. She told me another story that goes along with one of my own experiences, and just a shout out Mr. Zombie is Hungry, one of my subscribers. It goes with your favorite story in a way. You know the one I'm talking about. So I'm going to save that for a future video, and I'll include her story in my story. It's going to come soon, I promise. It's a good one, so I've been trying to save it so I don't run out of scary stuff to tell you guys. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think he was like a Satanist? Do you think it was all just a weird change of coincidences? I'm pretty convinced that that guy was very dark. I'm not saying he's a Satanist or anything like that, but he was definitely very dark and messing with things that he probably shouldn't have been messing with. But yeah, I'm also, speaking of Mr. Zombie is Hungry, he also did a recommendation for a future viral paranormal video about orbs. So that's going to be one of my future videos too. Probably not the following one after this one, because I'm going to throw a narration in here. So 2 videos from now will be the orbs video. And I'm basically going to tell you what they are, what the main paranormal community thinks they are, and then what I think they are. I've had a few experiences with orbs that I'll mention, but I'm going to save that for that video. So that's all I'm going to talk about today, because that's the end of the story, and I'm trying to stretch them out a little bit, as I said earlier, but just to reiterate, that's why my paranormal story times are kind of spread out. So stay tuned, and yeah, that's it. So if you like this video, like it, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and if you subscribe, you become a member of the undead, you know, because I'm brain zombies. Y'all got me. But as always, creeps, I love you. Thanks for watching this video. And as always, stay very spooky. Bye, guys.